Hey everybody, welcome back to our series on Armor Up. This week we're looking at the armor that goes on our feet, and it is having our feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. The third piece of our armor is found in verse 15. And he says this in chapter 6, verse 15, "And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace." Battle shoes are different than normal shoes. We don't think about what we wear and put on our feet until the time comes that we have to have it on for a particular occasion. Wearing our socks around the house or wearing our house slippers is great, but if we've got to go outside and it's wet, we might want to put on rubber boots. If we've got to go walking for a while, we may want to put on some tennis shoes or comfortable shoes. If we're exercising, it's definitely tennis shoes. If we're going to a wedding or some special occasion, we put on dress shoes. Same is true when we go into battle. We are fitted with the gospel of peace on our feet. This phrasing has some unique nuances depending on your translation. Literally, it means to continually having your feet fitted with the preparation that comes from the gospel of peace. In other words, it would take they're custom fit for us. And as you are more ready and you are fighting more, your feet are molded. What surrounds you, the gospel molds you so that you stand strong in the gospel as you stand firm and take your stand in the peace against Satan. The Roman soldiers' shoes were hobnailed, and that would be our modern version of cleats or spikes that gave traction. You don't want to go into battle wearing your house slippers because there's no traction. The gospel gives us traction against the evil forces that are against us. The idea of being fitted or shot is to have them bound underneath you, as we said, to have them molded to your feet so there is no slipping going on. You don't want your feet moving side to side or slipping out or running and fighting, and then you lose a shoe or a boot. The picture here is putting on shoes that fit securely and provide traction so as not to slip. Very, very important. Here's the practical. If you go into battle with hurting feet, ill-fitting shoes that aren't tied correctly, you slip a lot. You will not have the peace and the confidence that comes from being fully equipped. You won't be stable. You won't be standing firm. You won't be standing against for very long. You're vulnerable. Why? Because you're not solid in where you're standing. Paul said again in 1 Corinthians 15 to take your stand in the gospel. We keep mentioning the gospel. Why? Because it's what provides stability and traction as we do battle. It's where we derive our confidence as we do battle. How does this do this? How does the gospel give us peace? One, it reminds us, and Paul even says that in 1 Corinthians 15, I want to remind you of the gospel. It reminds us that we stand forgiven. As you come along, and he talks about the resurrection from the dead in 1 Corinthians 15, it reminds us that we stand victorious. And it also reminds us that we stand in a place of strength, not a place of weakness. The challenge of this text is to have your feet fitted firmly in the gospel that gives peace.